Today's sponsors are Angelo's Interiors, specialising in kitchens, bedrooms and bathrooms. Go and visit their showroom today in Gillingham. Their web address is angelosinteriors.com. And Dimodici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on dimodiciassociates.com.
Welcome to the Chairwheel Podcast with me, Simon Burridge, and the redhead warrior that is Rachel Burridge.
Are people normally nervous on this, or are they normally?
They are, but they're fine by the end of it. Yeah. You want to say, sorry, you want to say no?
No. Leave it a mystery.
No, say your name.
All right.
For you, rather than anything.
Yeah.
My name's Hayden, and this... Do I say action?
You say whatever you want. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, and then we hook it there, and then everyone knows your name's Hayden throughout the whole podcast. Don't know your surname, no?
Nope.
They think you're
It's a
Hayden.
mystery.
They think you're Hayden Griffith, mine coach.
Griffith.
Griffith. I've already
Messed that
started.
up.
Haven't I? So it's Mr. Hayden Bloomfield. How you doing? You all right?
I'm really good. Really good. How are you guys?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. He's a podcaster once, wasn't you?
Once upon a time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. What do you do?
Pressure.
And it's Pink Panda Promotions?
Productions, yeah.
Oh, Productions. Oh, we can leave then.
No, it's called Pink Panda, yeah.
Pink Panda Productions. Okay, tell us about yourself.
Tell her about what, in terms of work?
Anything. You can start off with your Pink Panda first, and then we can go on how you got there. Because I know you used to be a gardener as well.
Yeah. So Pink Panda, it's a case of we make content for businesses. We want to work with ambitious, driven business owners, and it's all around understanding what the vision of the company is. Where do they want to be in 3, 4, 5 years' time? And who's missing from that vision? So you've got that future business where you want to grow, what the clients you're going to be working with, what's the team members going to look like, the freelancers, partners you're going to work with, and we craft content specifically to attract those people.
Have you ever been asked to do weird content or things that you think, oh, really? You want that sort of thing?
No, yeah. Well, so everything I do is packaged. So people don't come to us and tell us what content they want. They come to us and tell us about the vision of the business, and I guide them from there. So we have set packages, there's 3 options where everything's all mediums are incorporated, where it's one recording, I put them on camera, it's kind of like podcast setting in the sense of they're there on camera.
Like an interview type.
Yeah, but it's conversational, but it's all designed about them speaking to their desired audience. And then it becomes videos, reels, carousels, infographics, blog articles, everything. But I did have someone who was like, Pink Panda, it sounds like something from the adult industry.
Yeah, tell us how you found Pink Panda, the name.
The name?
Yeah.
It came to me. So when I was thinking of the concept of what this business would be, I was kind of looking at all my passions, all my obsessions, and thinking, how can I just tie it all up into a company? I wanted to build another company. And I thought, well, I love talking business with business owners. I love making content. If I could just encapsulate that in one thing. So I came up with the idea, I'm just going to craft content for businesses, and came up with the model, the service. And I thought, what can I call this? Do I do something it is what it says on the tin, Content 365, business content? I was like, that's boring. Or do I go with something punchy, completely random? I like alliteration. And I was like, something like Pink Panda. And I was like, something exactly like Pink Panda. Only downside, people that are like 35, 40 and above go Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Of course we do.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not a panther trying to sell you biscuits.
Yeah, Pink Panda. Brilliant. Okay. And how long have you been going for?
7 months.
7 months. When did we have it? We had a one-to-one a few months ago, didn't we? I've got to turn my phone off, sorry. Is that mine going off?
Yours.
Podcasting 101.
Every time.
No, this is so you're turning yours off now as well.
That's right, I'm on silent.
This has become a thing for us. It's always going off for every podcast.
Actually,
Quickly, before you start, that's a thing as well. How long before that falls off?
I'm surprised, yeah. Well, actually, no, it fell off already, didn't it? Before
you can go from now. You clap and say how long you think it's going to be.
Oh, how long?
Yeah.
Let's make it 5 minutes and 37 seconds.
From now. From your clap. All right, then.
That's very specific, isn't it? 37 seconds.
But that's what Jenny did, and she was 2 seconds out, or 1 second out, something like that.
Yeah.
And if you get it right, £100.
If I get it right,
£100 to a charity of your choice.
All right. If I get it
We
right,
don't just stand here now for 5
Yeah, just go watch it.
That's it. Silence now.
Yeah.
It's a meditation.
There has been times when we've stared at it and it's just fallen off when we stared at it.
Or we've been discussing it mid-podcast and then it's just
ghost.
fallen. Yeah, it's fallen.
The podcast spirit is here with us now, if you want.
It's so weird.
Okay, so 7 months.
Give or take, yeah.
Right, okay.
So how did you because obviously you had these ideas. How did you initially say, right, I'm going to do it now? You know, was there a point that you thought, right, it's now or never? Or
so my first company that I still have, I was like trying to get that into a way where I didn't need to have my time used within it, and was finding a way to achieve that. And then in the interim, I was doing a bit of like business strategy consulting with companies, helping them with their business plan and everything. And the idea was just formulating. And the problem with me is like my brain is constantly going at 100 miles an hour.
Thinking of new ideas.
Yeah. So I wake up within seconds, I'll start going into like the deepest conversations, and I'll have had dreamt something that's useful and then just start going into the thoughts of that, and I will go to sleep. And I've always like got to sleep easy, but I've been struggling recently because I'm so excited. I've got so many things. I just lay in bed like thinking through all these businesses. And so
like you.
Yeah, with Pink Panda, it was like I was just kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together of like what it would look like. And it was, well, you're in BNI and all know the BNI kind of realm. So my membership was coming up for renewal for what I was currently in for. And I wanted to renew, but with this new company. And I was just like, don't know what it is, and trying to work out. And that renewal was coming up, and I had like 3-4 weeks. And I was like, well, there's my deadline. I've got 3-4 weeks to get this business, get a logo. And when I came back there was a 2 week interim where I wasn't in, and then came back. And I think I don't even know if I had the logo finalized, but when I joined, and it was, as you know, someone does a 10 minutes every week. And I was like, oh, well, the 10-minute slot's available for when you come back, actually. Do you want to do it on your first week? And I was like, sure. So I stood up and did my 10 minutes based on what I'd planned out for the last 3 weeks. And this is Pink Panda.
Wow. So you work quite well to deadlines and under pressure then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got no patience. Everything's fast. Like,
if it's not done now, just forget about it.
So I've got a whole list of things I want to do. I've got pretty much like my life planned in terms of what I want my life to achieve over the next multiple decades.
Okay, let's go for it.
Nice.
Let's go for it year on year. Let's do it every month. Right, first month.
Well, I've got a 3-year business plan for Pink Panda, month by month. I know what revenue I want to hit. I know what my role is within the company as I delegate it. There's elements that I've managed to speed up the process so far, and there's elements that are like delaying. But as the business plan is a guide.
Do you have that on the wall somewhere, or is it all up here?
No, it's all on my laptop.
Oh, right.
In terms of like, so all my immediate plans, so Pink Panda, and then the next kind of 3-4 businesses are planned out, but the next one is planned out, and then the next ones after that are more of, I've got a document that's just got ideas written, and then the multi-decade plan is like in my head, and I just kind of, it's kind of weird. It's like there's sections of my brain that store the information, and so I can come back to it and carry on working on it. So what I want to do, like from 50 beyond, I've just kind of got this storage and I can just open it up.
Put it in there. Yeah. So it's like one of those Instagram albums. If you save something, something like it. It's something like that, really.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you used to be a gardener, or are you still a gardener?
So I have a garden company. My involvement in that company is pretty much just the odd email and odd message and a lot of voice notes. And
so you have a couple of people working for you?
Well, so it was like there was a team of 10 of us at one point, and I made a lot of mistakes. I was learning. I've been employed for 3 months of my job. I'd never managed people, and I'm very like my brain. A lot of people I've met have said I'm autistic and like off the scales autistic. So I probably am. So when I was managing people, I came across as quite ruthless and cutthroat because I was so focused on what the vision of the business was. And it's like whatever the shortest pathway to achieve that. And that meant that I came across very careless when it came to people, which I wasn't. I was trying to get the best out of people, but I just didn't know how to communicate very well. So I downscaled and it became more of a lifestyle business. And then now, currently where it is, there's one person that does all the garden work. And then there's me that does all the business end of things. And we're just kind of partnering up together to see, we've been doing it. So they've been doing all the round for me for like a few months, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, but you're young anyway, aren't you? So don't
27.
You're not going to be hard on yourself for being...
Oh, man. It was like soul destroying when I saw that company come down. I had this whole roadmap, this business plan of like by 2025, I wanted 100 people in the company. I wanted to get so big that, Stihl, the garden machinery company, I wanted to get big enough that I could go to Stihl as their biggest customer and say, right, here's what we want from your tools, and here's how we want to reduce plastics in it. Here's how we want to make them more sustainable. And you're going to listen to us, or we're going to go elsewhere. And they would be like, shit, we need to listen to them. That was my plan. I never got there. And I had this whole plan of the land I was going to buy, how I was going to turn it into a yard. I had this plan of like homeless to horticulturalist, where I was going to buy tiny houses and then help the homeless, and they could live on site, learn how to garden, become a gardener.
So
Well,
you haven't got there because you. Sorry, Rach.
No, I
Do
was
you wanna
going.
go?
It's not
so you are
failing as
going then.
such. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, no, I've taken elements of that plan and altered it to.
Yeah,
other-
it's more of a, what do they say? It's first attempt is learning. That's it. That's what failing stands for.
Plan,
First
check and
attempt.
adjust.
First
Right.
attempt is learning. So
Oh, yeah,
it's
there's a lot
all
of
about the
failing there, yeah.
learning,
There's
the
a lot of
learning
learning.
curve.
Or don't do as I do. Do as I don't do, as you, for some bizarre reason, say.
Yeah, but that was
Which
just
means
a fuck
nothing.
up.
Yeah, don't do as I do as I don't do. Good, isn't it?
Don't
Is that a
do it.
motto you want to take
So
with you?
basically,
Don't do as she
copy
does.
me, but don't copy me.
Yeah.
So don't
Dickhead.
copy
Don't do
me.
as I do.
Anyway, what was I going to say? So,
Sorry.
did you fall out of love with the gardening business? What made you? Because you'll get there eventually, obviously.
Yeah,
You know,
I was very impatient. I wanted to get there too quickly.
every business. Well, every
I hate gardening, so I didn't want to be on the tools.
I hate gardening.
Yeah.
Right, so
But
that
you
is a
liked
reason to stop
the
it.
business side.
Well,
of
yeah.
it.
So my family's always been quite green-fingered and grew up like watching Alan Titchmarsh, Gardener's World. I was always in the garden. I was always outside, very outdoorsy, and
Oh, I thought you were gonna
Started-
say they were ogres.
all ogres. And like, I enjoyed gardening initially, and I found a lot of satisfaction. But my obsession became the business, and as soon as I started taking on people and learning, it was all like going to B&I. I went along to that. And all these business people, I could sit and learn, and I just couldn't believe I could go along and like, wait a minute, we're encouraged to have coffees and like get to know each other and talk to each other. I was like, so I can sit down with business owners and ask them questions. And from there, it was just business is my obsession. Here's now I'm going to scale it, and what like it was that goal of like I'm going to be the CEO running this, and every day that I wake up and I'm not the CEO running it, I'm failing, and I need to get there. So anytime I was, so it kind of the psychology within my mind was gardening represented failure. So anytime I was mowing the lawn and pruning the plants, it was because something went wrong. I was covering for someone had quit, I hadn't been able to hire someone in time, whatever it was, I was covering someone. And it meant that therefore I wasn't doing the thing that I need to be
The
doing
business
because I
side of
was,
it.
because I was gardening. So it became failure. And then when I changed it to a lifestyle business and I was going out like doing 3 mornings a week, then still in the back of my mind, anytime there's a mower in my hand, it's failure. It's gone wrong. So I can't remember what your question was now. I haven't. I kind of got off on the spiral of thinking of that.
So what did you then, you've obviously gone through education. How you didn't know what you wanted to be at that age, or you did, or?
My education was in fine art.
Oh,
so
right.
I'm a uni dropout. Well, they lost my work and failed me, but
Oh, nice.
then after I complained, they passed me. But I studied art for a long time. I didn't really know what I wanted
Where'd
to
you go? Yeah,
I went to UCA Rochester for 2
did that,
years.
yeah.
Hey!
in art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
do your foundation degree and then you specialise in what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's when I went down the photography route.
Yeah, photographer, media, arts.
Photography and media arts, yeah. Sorry, you were saying.
I went to UCA Rochester for the college. It was the 2-year extended diploma. So in my second year, it was the foundation lot that joined us. And then I stayed on and went to Canterbury campus to do the fine art degree. Didn't like it. And didn't really know. I didn't really have a plan. I was just like, I didn't care about money, wasn't driven by it. And my dad's an accountant. I don't really see him much, but he's an accountant. He was very like, what are you going to do for money? What are you going to do for money? I was like, I don't give a shit about money. I just want to live. Like, I'm a skateboarder. I want to skate and I want to do art things. And as long as I can live, like, I don't really want a lot of stuff. And then I started business, became quite materialistic, got over that. But I feel, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be a pathologist.
Oh.
But then I realised you had to go through, become a doctor. If I took no gap years and studied, I'd be like in my early mid-30s by the time I qualified. And I was like,
Yeah.
bollocks to that.
Yeah, it's sort of like a 7-year degree to be a doctor. Then you have to specialise in something
exactly.
which is 3 or 4 years. And something
Yeah, you have to work with the living to be able to work with the dead.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to be a firefighter, but I didn't get in. And I was just trying to find a job. And I worked as a tree surgeon for a bit of pocket money or whatever. My first client, I was employed at TGI's at Bloomfield for 3 months. But then, after uni, when I came out of uni and that all like fluffed up, I was thinking, what the hell am I going to do? And I'd done the tree surgery as like in between, as I said, for pocket money. And the tree surgeon that I worked for, the week that I came out of uni and was kind of like at home, head in hand, like, what am I going to do in my life? He rang me and was like, I need someone tomorrow, what are you doing? I was like, nothing, nothing at all. So carried on with that. And that's just where I was working with him and where it was his business, me, and then like other self-employed people that just help out as and when. I was involved in every element of it. Like he would talk to me about quoting, he would talk to me about the running costs,
So he's a little bit like your mentor almost to get into the business industry, showing you little tiny aspects of it and saying, do this. And
there was a lot of like, he taught me loads. And then when I started my business, it was kind of like the opposite of, I was looking at the things that he was doing. I was just like, no, why are you doing that? So then I changed it in my business and did it a different way. It's like little things, just like when he would give a quote, he would just go, right, there's the quote. See you later. If you're interested, give me a call, and walk away. And just as soon as I started a business and then was learning about the process of sales and how to close and that kind of thing, I was just like, no, you never do that. You give the price and then find out any objections they have and handle those objections. Yeah. But it was more of like an alpha, like
you come to me
proud thing. Yeah, like, right, I'm going to give you the price and walk away.
Well, some companies set their price and that's it. That's their price. You take it or leave it. You know?
And
maybe he was in that position where he could do that, take it or leave it. That's you know, because some people, especially photographers, they can go from like a £300 wedding to a £5,000, £6,000, £10,000 wedding.
Yeah,
And some will only get out of bed for a certain amount of money, and maybe he had that mindset.
No, it wasn't even. It was just a case of, it was this like, didn't want to come across as desperate. I think of like, oh no, if you chase people and ring them up and check the quote, that's like seen as desperation. So I kind of had that mindset initially, and I remember like even like his managing his diary, there was things where he would manage his diary based on like random bits of paper or like sandwich packets in the van. So like he'd get the phone call and he'd be like, yeah, all right, so you want the tree done? I've got, and just get like a Tesco sandwich, open it up and then
write it down.
Yeah, cool, all right. And I remember being on this job we was doing, it was for a village association. So there was a lot of work. We were there for like 2 weeks. And the notes we had on the trees was just these scraps of paper with, like, you could not read this writing, and he struggled to read it. He's like, yeah, we're doing that. Right, so today we'll do this with this bit. And I'm like, how are you? So then when I started my business, I would have like this paper diary and write things in. And I was just like, I need to be more systemized than that. And then just over time, I learned how to be way more systemized. And, well, like my garden company now, most of it's automated. So all the admin side of things, it's automated. I don't really have to do anything.
Oh, that's good then.
Excellent.
So how many businesses do you have now then?
Currently, two that make me money right now, and then there's other things that have just I've had others that have just like floated by, and I'm very much like, if I get an idea and I want to do something, I'll start doing it and put the pieces together and then quickly decide if it's going to be worth continuing. And so I've had businesses that I'd like start and experiment with in the background and then close them down within like a month just to test the waters with.
And sorry.
Yeah.
You briefly mentioned skateboarding, so you were really into it, was you?
Am.
Right, okay. When did you start? Really young?
I want to say, 12.
You're quite tall, actually. It would hurt when you fall over, wouldn't it? You've got quite a distance to land. So.
Well, especially, like the thing that I like skating as well is all big stuff. So I jump down handrails and like big stairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you want it there.
Spend more of my life injured than not.
Yeah.
Have you ever broken bones?
Yeah, what you broke?
I've not actually broken anything.
Oh, no.
Wait.
That's wooden.
The worst I did was like, I've got a lump on my head, so I smashed my head. And so I've got tissue built up. The worst injury I had was soft tissue damage in my foot because I couldn't skate, and that I was out for like 9 months. But I busted one foot, and then as soon as I got back into skating again and I recovered, I rolled the other foot, and then I was injured again, and then I got back into skating, and then injured the first foot again. But the handy thing, because my feet were so destroyed, so all the stuff that I did is on the streets. So it's handrails, as I said, and stair sets.
You're on the streets.
Yeah. Streets. And because of my feet, and I couldn't handle that kind of thing, I had to skate a lot of transition. So like when you see people skating like ramps, bowls, that kind of thing. And I learned how to skate all of that from being injured. And then, so now I've managed to build a consistency with, I say consistent, I'm not consistent.
I know you skate on the streets, but where do you skate?
All over the world.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So I'm always filming for video parts. So I've been a lot of Europe. My favourite place is Copenhagen. Love Copenhagen. And then been like Australia, Jamaica. I think it's like a dozen countries I've skated.
Wow.
You get shit from people who aren't skating and you're skating in the streets.
Oh, I get all kinds of interesting stories.
Like hassle and heavy.
Yeah, big time. Oh, when I was in Paris once, I was trying to film this trick. I was getting so stressed, and I was definitely letting my anger out. I'm just, like,
did you do it by yourself? You put a camera down?
No. We were, like, crew of us were out filming.
Oh, right, okay.
But I had this like little old lady in France go mad at me, and I was trying this trick, And I was getting so mad at it. And then every time I was like hurting myself as well, and I was in a lot of pain. So every time I'd land, I was just like screaming in pain. And I was just like getting angrier and angrier. And then
explain the trick first.
All right, so it was like this bank with a rail, and where you'd think I was trying to do a trick on the rail and come back into the bank, which you'd think, if you want to have loads of space, you can run, go as fast as you can and get on the rail and come back. But it wasn't. It was like this narrow way, so I had to carve in and to get up. So it took me, as you know. So it was hard enough just trying to come in. Oftentimes I was just trying to go as fast as I could, carve in, and I was just like slamming to the floor. But then, it was awkward as anything.
Bloody hell. But I have trouble carving a turkey.
Yeah, you have trouble reversing onto the drive.
Yeah, again, best reverser ever. Don't use that camera crap.
So obviously,
the whole thing was this little old French lady. She was just like walking along with a walking stick, and I don't know what I did, but I was in her way, and she was just like screaming and shouting at me in French, and then got a walking stick and just started hitting me with it.
So you're in pain anyway.
Yeah,
you're just
I remember being so angry though. She was like, if she was there whacking me, I just like grabbed my board, I turned around and just went, smashed the board, turned around and was just like trying to compose myself. And
then
the annoying thing was
in French and walked off.
Did she just hit you and walk off?
Pretty much, she was just like, and then she carried on walking and was just like,
goodness.
Strange lady. She's out there somewhere, just like, no idea who I am.
Before COVID, after COVID?
This was way before. I was like,
was she out there? We just don't know.
Yeah, true. She was elderly. The annoying thing was my mate stopped filming and they didn't film that bit. I was like, that's literally
that's the best bit.
But there's all kinds of shots of me just like snapping boards. I focused my sock once.
What?
Like ripped my sock off. I like threw my shoes, ripped my sock off. I was just like,
I focused. Did you say I focused my sock once?
Yeah, so like when you snap your board, you call it focus. You focused your board and just like snapped it. I don't even know why it's called that. So it's just become the term to destroy something, you focus it.
Oh, right. I'd love to focus you, right?
Oh my God. Please don't say that in the bedroom. That's really wrong.
Hey, darling, let me focus you.
It depends how he says
And then
it.
you said something about a sock. Ripped your sock off.
Yes, I ripped my sock. Yeah, that was like...
What's your sock? Your socks as in
socks? Yeah, socks on my feet.
So you broke your board and ripped your... Oh, right, the board ripped the sock.
No. This is a trick that I still haven't done to this day. I've been trying it for...
God, I feel so old, Ray, listening to this geezer.
I've filmed like 5 or 6 video parts and I've tried this trick in all of them and I've never managed to do it. And one day I was there. It's like a lot of high pressure things in it because it's... Do you know Brompton? No, Bromley. It's the hill, the bridge on the M2. Mm-hmm. Underneath it, whatever that area is called, Brompton.
Oh, is that where we go?
Like near the cinema in Rochester, that sort of...
Yeah, that sort of area, but in the village.
with the
it's got huge banks underneath
over
the bridge.
The other side?
Yeah, over the other side. There's some huge banks.
Is that where we go for the walk?
Like
probably,
Borstal,
that's it. Borstal Banks. Yeah, that's what we call it, Borstal Banks. But yeah, there's a trick there I've been trying for years. And when I go there, it'll be like a 2-3 hour session of me just like at the top of this thing coming in and trying to trick. And like when there's constantly cars coming, so you have to have multiple spotters. And then there's this whole thing of, because I'm so far away and all I can smell up there is fumes and bird shit and I'm getting covered in certain dirt and all sorts. And then your mates, I'm like, you've got to shout yes and no. You can't shout go because it sounds like no.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, yeah, go. And I'm like,
yes, I know.
Yes, go. No, go. Yes. No. Oh. So anyway, they worked out, but it's just, and as well, because it's down such a steep bank, like as soon as you slam, you're just falling down this mountain, and then you got to walk back up it again. So it's...
So could you not hear your spotters? Can you not see your spotters?
Yeah, you can see them, so they'll be like that.
Give them a green and red paddle.
You think we are that prepared? Yeah, we use like a high vis and giant paddles.
Or a yes or no sign.
Yeah.
Like yes and then no.
But yeah, so I was trying this and it like 3 hours in or something, and it was just getting too angry.
3 hours trying this one trick.
Yeah.
God, and every time doing it, going back up the hill, doing it,
it's a big hill
God.
as well. Like,
you must be exhausted by the end. I'm exhausted.
Do it.
I still haven't done it. I've got a video part coming out in December, so I'm praying that it's going to be in that one.
So have you got like a YouTube page for your skating?
Mates have, yeah. So it's all filmed.
Oh, right. So you do it all as a group? People.
Yeah, and then go on skate trips, and I'll go on my own skate trips and stuff.
And you just do skateboarding, you don't do like inline skates?
No.
So if you can skateboard, I'm assuming you can snowboard?
I've been a few times, yeah. But I snowboard like a skateboarder. So
well, snowboarding in theory is like
yeah, very similar, but
because you're using the back leg, aren't you, to turn? You definitely are in snowboarding, and I was told by a skateboarder.
It's like your shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you're turning, you're controlling with your back foot.
I don't know. I'm not a very good snowboarder, so
But I was told that by I managed to. I haven't snowboarded much. I skied quite a lot, but I've managed to snowboard in Banff or something like that. And I was stacking it all the time. Yeah, but I did one run without stacking it. Well, you meant to stack it on a snowboard anyway. Let's be honest, right?
It's a lot more forgiving on a snowboard.
But you go down hard because once you catch the edge, the front edge, you're gone over. Yeah, that hurts. And I was catching the edge for a lot. But as soon as someone told me that I'm a skateboarder and I sort of controlled my back foot, whether that is, I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what he told me. Like he's steering and using more the back foot than the front. Once I've worked out that the front is just staying put and you're doing all the weight with the turning with your back foot, I went down without falling over. And then got off of it and got back on skis. And that was 20 years ago, so no, I can't.
The thing I noticed snowboarding was, so like, power sliding on a snowboard.
Yes.
Do the same thing on a skateboard, you'll power slide, but on a snowboard, it's more of just like turning your shoulders in and you just relax and just let yourself power slide.
Okay.
Whereas on a skateboard, it's urethane on tarmac, so you can't you have to shunt your feet into it. And that's what happened. So I was like bombing it down this slope, got to the bottom, and then one of the instructors or staff there was just like, "Are you a skateboarder?" And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know that?" He's like, "I can tell because when you're power sliding, you're forcing it in and you're using your legs." He was like, "Just relax, just let your shoulders turn you in." And I can tell, that's how I can tell you're a skateboarder, because you're used to doing that because of the urethane on tarmac. And I was like, and then just started relaxing more and chilling. And
so are there different style wheels, ones that are a bit more slippery than others?
Yeah, you get different styles based on what you're doing and everything. So a lot of skateboarders, like filming street, you'll have really hard wheels. Yeah,
to take the punishment, I imagine.
Just so you can slide, so you can power slide and you can do tricks.
So the harder wheels will be slipperier than the grippier ones, obviously.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Have you got one of those electronic ones like Joe Wicks has? I've seen Joe Wicks just all the time with his family.
You've seen Joe Wicks, all right. Loves
that was one of those mums in COVID that had a little crush on Joe Wicks.
Little crush?
Yeah.
Massive crush.
Well, he was the only guy on TV that all the mums could look at, wasn't he?
You could look at
come on, kids, you've got your Joe Wicks. Be Joe Wicks.
And then you're sitting there going,
Joe Wicks.
No, but he's got these electric ones that you just literally control.
Scud along on,
Yeah, and they look really good, but I know that if I had one, I would so fall off and break something. Sorry.
I think, right, okay, what should we talk about now? Let's ask you a couple of questions about your new business. Say I'm a client. I need some...
If you want to be a client, you can be a client. It's fine.
Is this one of your sort of...
I'll give him a scenario.
Question.
So I'm a client. I'm coming to you because I've got no presence in the internet world.
Yep.
Social media world.
Yeah.
I'm like, help me out. What am I going to do? What can you do for me?
Within the space of a few hours of your time, you can have over 100 pieces of content designed to build your business.
So that's you shooting them, interviewing them.
Yeah, so 2-step process essentially. Once they've said yes, is discovery, and I've got Panda has a framework we go through, and that's just extracting all the wisdom and knowledge from their mind, and in a way that we can position it to be directed at that dream client or the dream staff, whoever it is they're trying to attract, who they need to grow their business. So we have the discovery, and then the recording. So I did there's a little tagline I use of like 1 hour, one conversation, one entire year's worth of content. But that 1 hour conversation is governed by how well they take to being on camera. So some people, it's like you sit down and they're like, okay, what do I do? I forgot. And then it takes like half an hour to get through. So oftentimes like the first couple bits of content we're recording take just as long as all the rest of it. Where they just get confident.
Just got to relax.
Experience with people on camera.
Well, we know that from doing this, don't we? The amount of people that come in and go, I'm really nervous. But as soon as they sit down and they don't realise there's all cameras here, you just talk to us and it's so more chilled out. Exactly. Now that I'm pointing them out. But the amount of times, because you're having a conversation like this, you don't really look over there and think, I'm being filmed.
All I look over there for is to see did I push record? That's all I do.
And the mic's turned off.
No.
Am I pushing record there? You know. That's
So
all I
you must have, with your businesses, a good social media presence then, or do you sort of feel
It's only a few months old, but it's something
yeah,
that
but
I'm
in
learning.
theory, you don't need the social media presence as such, because it's the social media presence for the company.
Yeah, so it's
you're creating or you're helping.
So he can use that as well for.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say? Like he can use
Do you have a bit of pink panda? Do you have a bit of pink panda? Sounds like we're doing drugs. Do you want a bit of pink panda? Do you have a little bit of an advertisement in their shorts?
No. Well, so in writing the blogs, I did in one of the clients I'm working with at the moment. We're very synergetic in what we do, and they're a web developer. And then in the blog article, it was talking about certain things, tips and tricks, whatever. And it says about having the content, and I was like, do I not? I was like, yeah, I'm going to. And in the blog article, I said, like, and if you don't have enough content for us to build your website, you better go talk to Pink Panda.
Ah, right.
But
They're all right about it?
well, they'll find out when they read it.
They probably won't.
Get an angry call. But when it comes to social media, I feel like there's kind of two reasons. Well, there's loads of reasons, but in terms of a business, there'll be two reasons you're on social media. One is to go down the route of insane growth and to become like social media is your marketplace. And that's more like if you're a product or if you've got online things and you're not tied by geography. Whereas I don't want those people at Pink Panda, we want those that are like service-based businesses in the area, because Pink Panda is born out of what I had Pink Panda is born out of what I wish existed in my first company. So I was making content for my business, and initially it was just I was excited. This was my baby. I wanted to scream and shout about it. I get the vans, livery, and everything. I think I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna stand in front of my lovely new sign written van, and I'm gonna. What am I going to talk about? Well, clients are always asking me this. I'll just make a video on those questions.
Frequently asked questions.
So I would stand in front of my van, answer their questions, put that into content, and then make articles, write about it. And I just wanted loads and loads and loads of stuff about my business. And obviously the vans are bright yellow, you can't miss them. So I started within the local area, I started building up this reputation. And it was like, oh yeah, the yellow vans. I'm now, oh, you're the Pink Panda guy. I've started to find that's the reputation that follows me. But with the content, I started to discover that I was going around to people's gardens and I would ask, have you had a gardener before? You're going to get some other quotes in, as well as many other questions. But what I started to find this theme of was people were saying, yeah, we was going to get a few quotes in, but to be honest, we got a few recommendations, and then thought we'd research the people. We came across your profile and like looked on your website, and it was just so many helpful videos, especially one about pruning the roses, the pride and joy of our garden. Clearly you know what you're talking about. When can you start? I was like, oh, this content's actually pretty valuable. And that's what I was learning in this business. And I was thinking, I was trying to put energy into making loads of it. And it was just, right, every question they've got, any question that they should be asking, or even like if they're looking for a gardener, what questions they need to be asking. I'm going to make content all around this. And it was just building my business for me, because then it was an online portfolio that people could see what we're doing and they could gather a rapport with us and build trust in us before they even met me. So by the time they meet me and talk to me about their garden, they already know me better than any other gardener they get quotes in from.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what Pink Panda is all about. It's about doing that for other businesses. It's not about likes, followers and comments. I don't give a shit about that. It's like when your prospects discover you, what are they going to learn, and how well can they build that trust and rapport so that when you go and talk to them, they're like, you're who I want to work. You are the authority.
It's literally what we're doing this for.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing this because, we work intimately with a bride and groom.
On the biggest day of their lives, that sort of thing.
I think they'd much rather know the character of the two idiots that are filming them, So that's why we do it. And
idiots
at the same
in life,
time,
not at shooting weddings. Complete geniuses.
Oh, no, shit, it's shooting weddings.
No, we market it as who is behind the brand as such, right? And you need to know the people behind the brand.
So it's not just us, it's people like you we get in, find the character behind the brand. That's what it's all about.
So that process must be exhausting when you don't have someone like you who can do that for them, having to still do the day job, still put the content out. That side of it.
And you're writing the blogs for them, aren't you? As well?
Everything. Yeah. So literally, from a client's perspective, the whole thing, with everything in my life, it's maximum output, minimum input. So maximum output for them, maximum ROI, minimum input of their time. So I can deep dive into their business as quickly, as efficiently as possible. Like I think of my role within Pink Panda predominantly, although I do everything at the moment. I've got my first team member starting this month, but at the moment it's all me. But I just think of myself as Pink Panda's a factory. There's clients come in and out they go with their happy face and their new content. My job is to walk the factory line, every single process, and just delete, and then see what is the minimum we need in order to achieve this, so that the client can come in and they're out.
Yeah.
But what they've got is a huge impact and great results. And it's not just about having the content. It's not specifically about, right, here's all your content. Now, by uploading that content consistently over time, you're now going to, like, yes, you'll start to get more sales as a result and more interest through social media, but it's fundamentally how you communicate. And that's like the clients we've worked with, like our first client got an ROI within a few weeks because it wasn't the content specifically, it was the process of being Pink Pandarized. Hopefully that'll be in the Oxford Dictionary one day.
Pink Pandarized.
Pink Pandarized. By being Pink Pandarized.
We might have to make one of those. Cherrywood production.
Cherry wooded.
No.
Cherry wooded.
That doesn't work.
I've been cherry wooded.
No, that's gone down the sexual route again. Let's not go there.
Don't worry. I'll be focusing on you later.
So it's your big day. You ready to get cherry wooded?
That's what the next podcast is going to be.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Well,
mate.
back to professionalism.
That's doing well.
He's doing.
I've definitely lost.
You've lost, definitely.
Damn it.
What did you put on there?
I just put one bit of tape on.
Gorilla Glue. Shout out Gorilla Glue.
Jeez,
If you want to sponsor the podcast, you can see how well it's holding the sun.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, clients.
sorry.
So the first client we worked with, they got on. So it was a £2.5 grand package, and they ended up they had a couple of inquiries that came in that would have been a couple £100. But because of the whole Pink Pandarization process, it changed how they communicate, and they was able to ask much better questions and do a deeper dive into the business. So instead of just responding to, oh, you want this? Yes, there you go. It was, well, tell me what your business is about. Okay, what is it you need that for? Oh, well, you need it for that. Well, have you got this in place, this in place? And so those two clients ended up spending £3 grand with them instead of £300. So the £2.5 grand package they paid for with us instantly had made more back.
Yeah.
And that's just within a few weeks. And now it's changed how they communicate. And that was the same thing for another client.
So you're creating this content for them. Are you posting it for them? Do some of them ask you to do all the posting and everything? Or do you just give them the content? It's down to them to post it.
So we craft the content and then we hand it to them. But then the whole thing, similar to in my garden company, I wanted to be a hub of resource for my clients. I want to be a hub of resources for all Pink Panda clients. So where the discovery, I go deep into their business. So I know the deepest traumas, their happiest successes. I know a lot about them personally. And for all of that, I've become quite the kind of go-to and ask a lot of questions.
He's so handsy, isn't he? I'm glad I haven't got a piano there.
And I can't.
Oh,
No, sorry.
But so with that, the whole cycle, I want to understand, like, where is their business? And then in growing that, because as I said, like, when I started Pink Panda, I just want to talk business with business owners all day. So in their business, I'm asking them about this vision and then looking at how and where my brain is just builds out these processes to build companies, and I have multiple business plans and everything for all these companies. I do the same thing when I work for a client. I just start building their business in my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, what does your website look like? What does your social media look like? Social media look like? So to answer the question there, it's a case of, no, we don't manage the social media, but we have partners we work with that are like, as soon as they've got the content, what is your plan?
Yeah.
How are you going to upload it?
Yeah.
I want to hear the plan. And in my business plan, I want to keep communication every 3 months with a client anyway. And in that is a bit of the kick up the arse to be like, why am I not seeing the content? If I'm not seeing the content, right, here's the people I work with. Here's the LinkedIn expert. Here's the Insta expert, whatever. Get them doing it, because clearly you're not doing it, or they're doing it themselves, and I'm just catching up with them and going, brilliant, love it. How's it going? What business?
Just tweak this, just tweak that. You could do this, Oh,
So your smallest package that you knock out, how many bits of content for them?
Smallest package is
2.
£2.5 grand, and it's 1 video. It's £2.5 grand, and it's 6 videos, 26 reels, 6 carousels, 12 infographics, and 6 blog articles.
Right, let's go through a couple of them.
Wow, what were the
Carousel.
So carousel is a series of images that kind of tell a story.
Yes.
So whether it's a helpful piece of advice, so it'll be like 4, 5, 6 slides.
Yeah.
And it's like, how to solve this problem, slide through.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, right, let me write this down.
I thought you hit something then. It went straight through my ears. I'm just glad you're not Edward Scissorhands, who'd have cut me to shreds by now.
What was the Insta? What did you say?
Infographics.
Infographics.
It's like images. So it's just a single image where it's...
Yeah, where it's got text all over it. And
Yeah. Well, I try and do it, but minimal. But
yeah.
Because what I like, obviously it wouldn't work really for video, but is the ones that they break it down. So on their Instagram page, you've got 6 photos.
Oh, and it makes one large
big
photo.
one. And I still
when you land on their
like
page.
a collage.
But you don't tend to land on people's pages as much now on Insta, do you?
I always think that's pointless. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but in terms of like going into the psychology of like how to grow your channel or your Insta page like that, I just can't understand how psychologically it would have an impact. The only thing is just when you go on their profiles, check them out.
And there we go.
Well, it wasn't 5 minutes and 37 seconds, was it?
But it knocked the table and knocked all your mics and stuff.
Did it? I wonder why it was so loud.
All the audio's been broken.
So you're going to have to come in again. We've lost all the audio on
And
that.
it's a great conversation ruiner as well, I found, which is ideal for podcasts.
Yeah.
But going back to that, I look at, because like some people, like I follow a few people on my personal Instagram, and I look at them and think, why is there a picture of you like half your head? That's not really.
That's
and so
what I think it's
and then you go onto their page and you go, oh right, okay.
That would make my job a lot faster, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I've got a screenshot from the recording. I've just you got 12 infographics and all just sections of your face.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, why have you put that up? That's really random for a photographer to put that up. What the hell are you doing? Then you go on their page and you see the whole thing. That's what intrigues me.
Yeah,
anyway.
with photographers, I prefer the idea of having a carousel, but it's like it's the full image, but then the carousel or the first image is half of it, and then you scroll. So as you scroll, you can see the whole thing, and then the last slide is the whole image, or vice versa.
Yeah, I get it.
Because then you can zoom in.
Take some notes.
Get in later.
Right, anything else you want to cover? Obviously, you want to cover your details so people can get hold of you. Anything else you want to... You're looking at me like I'm going to say something funny, but I haven't got anything. I've got nothing in me.
You're supposed to be like a comedian as well. Yeah, come on.
Well, damn.
No, mate, I'm whatever you want to dive into. Deepest traumas, happiest moments, worst moments, anything you want to dive into.
Go on, give us your deepest trauma. Sounds good. He just asked me to.
I haven't got a lot, so
right, don't worry about it then. No, go on.
No, I've had a lot of like therapy and done a lot of personal coaching. So like the things that I've discovered a lot there over recent times. A lot of like a lot of people in life, you're striving towards something, and I've definitely got things where I'm running towards them and trying to achieve these things, but equally I'm running from. And I've done a lot of work with a therapist to like ascertain what it is that I'm running for and what it is that I'm running from. And it's all linked, and a lot of it comes from my dad died when I was 7. And like in that point, your brain where you're developing, because the interesting thing I discussed with my therapist, and I was 7, my sister was 10, and the differences of how we responded and the personalities we become, so different. Like she's very introverted, very quiet. Ask her what she wants to do in the next 10 years, and whatever. Like I'm just living today. Whereas me, I'm the extrovert that's loud. You ask me what I want to do in the next 10 years. I'm like, 10 years? I'm like, what about the next 100? I've got, there's a plan.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from like where our brains were at the stage of development in terms of the fact that I was 7. And so it impacted me differently. Whereas at 10, you've developed a lot of your characteristics. So the personality and the influence that my dad had would have made us quieter. But because he left when I was younger, I then developed my personality in his absence. And there's a lot of things like he was the financial provider, so I had huge insecurity. One of my biggest insecurities is in money, so I'm determined to be rich. And I had a lot of toxic attachment to that when I was younger. So when I started my first business, I just wanted to be rich, and I was like, right, I'm going to wake up one day, I'm going to go in my walk-in wardrobe, I'm going to put on my Savile Row suit, and I'm going to walk down to my garage, the Rolls, the Bentley, the Aston, which one today? And that like got rid of all of that idea, and I had bought a lot of expensive clothes.
It's not a good thing to have.
No, and it was all this insecurity within me, and then now I've still got a determination to be rich. I want to get my net worth to 100 million, but there's more of just the problems I want to work on later in life. 100 million gives me the finance to back it and to invest in it, but also gives me the power, influence, and the authority to be able to make the connections and speak to the people I want to speak to, and to have influence and kind of power to say, right, this is what I want to do, and I want to have a positive impact. If you've got 100 quid, you can't really do much. Whereas if you've got 100 million,
what money does, it gives you choices, not happiness.
I think it exaggerates who you are. If you're a happy person, you'll be happier, and if you're a miserable bastard, you'll be more of a miserable bastard. If you cling on to the things you own, and you'll end up clinging on to more.
Yeah, but you end up gaining friends that aren't friends. You know, it's that kind of thing, isn't it? You know, you just got to be a bit shrewd. It's a hard one, because the more successful you become, the change in the people around you. You know, you have to have an inner circle, your outer circle,
and the fakies.
Yeah. And then the jealous ones from who you spent your whole life with want you to remain the person you were.
Yeah.
You know? It's all about who they want you to be, not who you want to be.
Because it's almost better for them to feel that you are.
I feel more comfortable if you're still the same person and you're not progressing.
Because they feel a little tiny bit of an edge that I'm better than you, so you need to still be down
It's insecurity
here.
is all it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think like the circle of friends I've got as like my best friends, it's more of I'm just a weird different one, and they kind of
Embrace that.
They love to. I don't know if they embrace it. They love to bully it. That's our relationship. They pick on me. I laugh.
Go home and cry.
Yeah.
Right, give us your email address and phone number after the show. No, give it to that. I pulled. I plan on focusing on here. I'm using the shit out of that word. It's good to have you on though. So tell us all your details.
Yeah. Email ideas@pinkpanda.london.
Ideas@pinkpanther.london. What? Pink Panda? I'm an old man. Ideas at pinkpanda.london.
Correct.
.com. Oh no.
No, .London.
.London.
Oh, .London. Is there a .London?
Yeah, we're new, we're edgy.
Is it a
.com
.lon
wasn't
or
available.
London?
Huh?
Is it full on word London or LON?
No, .London.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about that. What's all that about then? Is it just because it's a London-based company?
No, I went to buy the domain. .co.uk wasn't available and .com wasn't available. So I bought London. I've got pinkpanda.london and pinkpanda.farm.
Who else has got Pink Panda?
Oh, there's.
Do we need to talk about them? Do you want to talk about them?
It's a sex shop.
Yeah.
Pink Panda, yeah. It's one of those toys. Yeah. Sorry. I'm not slagging off
Sex
your
toy range of Pink Pandas is coming out next year.
Bring it out. Oh, yeah, that's probably further on in the future, isn't it? You've got to have 100 million for that.
Yeah, that's the
focus toy.
That's the 2069 plan. I dropped the sex toys. Yeah.
Perfect.
2069.
I get it, mate.
Oh,
yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I've had a life.
Funny.
Lovely having you on.
Have a laugh.
Pleasure.
Honestly, I hope you enjoyed it. Did you? No?
Yeah, it is.
No?
I'll make sure to live on and do as I don't. Do as you don't.
I don't even know what I said.
I just like taking the piss out of her. She said something wrong, so I put it on every cup we own.
Do you not have a closing theme?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
do we have a closing?
Yeah, do you have a closing theme?
No, it's
We
more
usually
of
say
a-
do as we do, don't do
No,
as
it's
we
more
don't
of
do.
a thank you so much, and then we have another 5-minute discussion. over.
yeah.
Rambling on,
Yeah, we're like,
Yeah.
can we just start it?
Come on then. You've done a bit of podcasting. Suggest a closing theme for us, like undressed
Do we-
or...
If people listen to it, although he did get undressed this morning when
Yeah.
our
Make the sound.
assistant...
Just so you,
Vocal.
yeah, I know we've said bye,
Yes.
and we're carrying on, but we've got little Riley over here. Come over here, Riley. He's my apprentice. I'll be focusing on him later on. Riley's going to help us this year with weddings and things like that. So we're training. You've been to college, haven't you, Riley?
And also there we go.
Should we say hello, Mum? Hi,
Who do you want
Mum.
to shout out?
She ain't gonna
watch this.
Riley, you don't swear on the podcast. Have you heard me swear on the podcast?
Yes, I did actually.
Oh, right, okay.
Several
We
times
spoke about your
today.
mum the last podcast, actually, which isn't, well, it's out now.
You like to swear on a podcast? If not, you
We,
put some more in it.
we swear based on the guest. If the guest is nice and posh, we'll be nice and posh. We're adaptable. It's what happens in weddings.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever dropped the C-bomb yet.
No. we won't.
Just like Pink Panda, I have to adapt to their tone.
Exactly. You've got to adapt. You've got to adapt. And Pink Panther. But sorry, Pink
But
Panther.
anyway, we were saying about Riley. When Riley came in this morning, you said to me...
Did you plan the hair?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
No, this is just...
They-
this is mine.
Riley and
You're hired
Rachel
based on
always
the
have
character.
matching hair, and they've not seen each other for what, 6 months? Over 6
Wow.
months.
Yeah. And now
But
we've got matching tips as
So
well.
you were my sound guy when we shot Dusty, weren't you? We shot
Does
the
it sound good on it?
It was all right.
Yeah.
But let me be honest, it was my direction I was giving him. I just didn't want him in the shot too much, but we got through it. It was all right. It was hard going, wasn't it? The location, the guy doing the locations, I won't mention his name, but he's the writer of Dusty. he chose locations next to building sites and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
which was hilarious. So, yeah, with one shoot we'll be quiet, next shoot they'll be
Planes go by.
You're
So
like,
it was
"Stop,
hard going
stop."
anyway. It was hard going, but you helped me on that, didn't you? Then you both had red hair, didn't you? And now you've both gone for the old blonde tips. Would you ring each other up? And
When you went,
What are you doing?
It just depends on what I can afford and when Mum can be off.
Oh, Mum. That's it. Blame Mum.
Thanks, Mum.
Always blame Mum. Mum, everyone, is
Vicky.
Sometimes call her Vanessa for some bizarre reason.
I'm telling her.
Do you remember when we had a meeting with her once called her Vanessa?
Oh, that was
Anyway, hi Vanessa. Yeah. And her mum's Vicky, who we were speaking about with Natalie last
The week
podcast.
before, yeah.
Works for Natalie. All linked. All sort of. Anyway, so you're coming on board with us. You're going to edit this podcast, didn't you? So if it's crap, it's Riley's fault.
Yeah.
Make it good. Take everything I've said and make it great.
Take everything you said and make it great.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
t-shirt.
just still, that's true.
Focus on it.
I'm still just trying to picture an old French lady beating you up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. French lady beating you out.
I wish
Perfect.
I had a clip of that.
That's it then.
This is Riley. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, we were disgusting.
What we just? Are we still talking?
Oh, yeah,
no,
well,
we were
Your
discussing
camera's
the
turned off,
Hayden.
Riley. That's
Yeah,
why I
it's
kept
all-
mine rolling.
Oh, it's timed out.
Yeah,
30
we gave
minutes.
Riley. We only film with one camera, but we gave Riley. Is it? It times out after half hour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's also how I knew how the thing hadn't fallen off.
Do you know that's all to do with taxes?
Hmm?
Do you know that's all to do with taxes? The reason they time out at 30 minutes is to do with...
Yes, it's to do with that being a camera, not a camcorder.
Yeah. So
Yes, but Lumix usually go unlimited. I've got other Lumix. I'm quite surprised that Lumix is
makes it
30
cheaper.
minutes.
30 minute
Does.
taxes, yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been you that told me that actually then.
It's I don't know if I told you that, but it's also
I often have a habit of
they
just
blame it on
ignoring the
overheating.
facts that they told me.
You know, some cameras do it because of overheating.
Shall I let Riley sit down?
Yeah, you sit down. Yeah, go. You may leave. You may leave, Riley.
What do you enjoy most about podcasting now that you've done it a few times?
What do I? We what?
Enjoy
Oh
most?
God, we're getting interviewed.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I'm scared now. Right, we got to be serious.
This is the extra hours
no,
now.
we were also talking about how to close it. as
Yeah,
well.
we'll talk about it. But what we enjoy meeting the people, learning behind the character or behind the front of the person. What might
The brand. The brand
behind the brands. The
people
character behind the brand's really good.
And some of their stories, like their background stories of how they got to where they are,
Yeah.
like you're sitting there going, oh my God, I never knew that. And because obviously if you're in a B&I meeting or if you're just having a drink or something like that with them, they wouldn't go into detail about, oh, this is how I started my business or I had such a bad childhood that it turned me into this and then that made me progress into this. And you just look at them and think, oh
Yeah, a
my
lot of
God,
business
I would
owners.
never.
Are business owners because they're insane and they've got a lot of trauma.
Yeah,
That's
because they can't work with others.
That's fascinating conversations. And like, some fascinating. Well, like in BNI especially, like some one-to-ones I've had with people, and well, as you like to go into the route of like making it 18 plus, but like I wrote a book when I was younger, and from that I ended up in one-to-ones. It would come up, and then that dive into all kinds of.
He wrote a book. We didn't know that.
No, you didn't.
What was the book about?
It's a series. It's series of short stories.
Don't laugh at your own book. It might be good. Go on, carry on.
Well,
What other short stories? Is it adult or?
yeah, it's all based on it's sex stories, and it's all based on different fetishes. It was
I know.
What's it called?
one.
How old were you when you wrote it?
How old was I? I was like 20 and released when I was 21.
Okay.
It was
You released when you were 21.
Well,
What would you read in the
published
book? Oh, right.
published it when I was 21, and it was.
You went straight over, did that? Not literally. Sorry.
I got it.
Go on. Right. So, how many did you make?
I just wrote one. I had notes down for the second one and
Yeah.
probably the third one as well, but I just never got around to it. I've written other books as well, like business books, and just never. I wrote a book called Off the Tools, and it was all around when I was building my business and I was trying to get off the tools.
Right.
I started noting down the whole process of it, and it was like 25 chapters, 7,000 words, and just never published it because I
Right.
never got to where I wanted to be to
course.
release it. And then I've started writing another one since. And
You should have made 50 of those sex books, and every book would have been a slightly different shade of grey.
No.
No?
50 Shades of.
I did get someone that read it said it was written better than 50 Shades, and I was pretty proud of that.
Oh, that's good. For a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not bad going, is
Yeah,
it?
because the woman that wrote 50 Shades was clearly a woman that needed to have sex, I think. This was just her impulse of just, this is what I need, so I'm going to write it all down and then sell it as a book.
I've never seen you so keen to go to the cinema when that came out. Anyway, how do you suggest we end the podcast then? This would be fun.
It's a hard sort of, it's just like a, right, you finished conversation
We just, yeah.
and then...
I like listening to Joe Rogan. I'm watching Joe Rogan. It just finishes it. Thanks a lot.
It just gets them high and drunk.
That's true.
Yeah. So we go with the same thing where there's no time limit.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm available for the next 8 hours.
Oh. I was hoping to knock this off.
Focus.
There's no time limit, and we just end it when we end it. But
Yeah, do what you want. It's your podcast.
what we seem to do is say bye and then talk
Like
for
we
another
have, yeah.
half hour after, which is good, isn't it?
So how would you wrap up a podcasting if you were doing it?
If you were doing this, we say, I wish they should wrap it up like that.
I'll get my notepad out again.
Get your pad out.
Wrapping it up.
Do you know what? Your notepad is seen on there, so don't put that there.
There's also nothing on it.
Yeah.
I know.
It's when she's put, he's an idiot. on there.
Don't like it.
Wanker. I'm just holding it.
Go on.
Sorry.
So
Don't put your notepad there.
if I was structuring a podcast, I'd think the way to close it is something that you want the guests. So, like in their psychology, they will remember. There'll be something that will be like the start will be significant, how you make them feel from the first moment, and then there'll be something within that draws out as this key feature. But then the ending will be the last memory they have of being on the recording. So I try and think of something that's going to elicit a particularly powerful emotion you want to extract from them, and that may be good, that may be negative, that maybe they want to come back, that maybe they want to talk about.
Oh, you mean to the guest?
Yeah, so for the guests,
Oh,
for the
to the
last,
guest.
Yeah.
So we're, So
Okay,
it's
that's-
the emotion we're bringing out in them that they're going to go home with and remember.
Yeah.
I asked them like a deep philosophical question that they'd have to sit and go, oh shit, I've got to think about this now.
Okay, let's ask you. What's your favourite colour?
Black, obviously. All I wear is black.
I like a lot of black. I like wearing black.
On that note, we can end it there. There we go.
How was that? Will they remember that? For all the wrong reasons. For all the wrong reasons. Yeah, I do wear a lot of black. Do you wear a lot of black?
But for a woman, it's you look at it and think, oh, it's slimming.
Okay, but there's nothing of you, and you think you're fat every day. It drives me nuts. There's nothing of you. What else?
So
Any other ideas? Let's think of a question for you. A philosophical question.
Are you all right to grab photos on my phone as well while you're snapping photos?
Yeah.
I'll scream and shout about
Charge him, Riley. Charge him.
Yeah, they would be good if you're working in a photography, videography company. Feel free to play around with portrait mode and mess around with the focus. And all
But
sorts of
don't look
stuff.
at the
And then
gallery.
you'll post them on Instagram and
Yeah,
stuff.
don't look at the
You'll say Cherry Podcast and stuff, wouldn't you?
No. I'm going to say it's Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm going to cry his face.
With the bloke from Up posting it.
I never thought of that.
He looked like the bloke from Up. And a flashback of him. That's not. I'm not that old looking.
Yeah.
No one ever agrees with me. When I say the flashback version, everyone goes, no, you're just the bloke from Up.
I reckon maybe if we do one near Halloween, we should do like in a fancy dress, and you should definitely.
You
go
need
to
some
the
giant
Carl.
balloons.
What was his name?
Yes.
What is that guy's name in Up?
Don't
It's
know.
Carl,
You
isn't
need
it?
some-
Is it Carl?
Oh.
Yeah, Carl
Sure, I
and
thought-
Ellie. Yes, yeah.
Carl and Ellie. Okay.
You need to dress up as like a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Come on every now and then.
Yeah. I've often thought of that. Get Riley dressed as a Boy Scout.
No, we've got to end it there.
Sorry, everyone. I've got to go before you started thinking bad things of me. Right, thank you for coming.
Thank
I
you
hope
so
you enjoyed
much.
it. I've been through this already.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
But we are actually going to end this one now, aren't we?
Yeah, and I hope it's a success. There we
Thank
go.
you.
High five. There we go.
Oh, we've never high-fived. Oh, we've always
With
fist
fist bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's changing it up, hasn't he?
Sorry,
He's just changing it up, hasn't he? It's just... There we go.
Thank you so much.
This podcast has been brought to you by Snugdubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk. This podcast was brought to you today by Austin's Eatery on Station Road, Strood.
Try the Viking Challenge.